at St. Thomas Church for a year and a half. I'm a cradle Episcopalian. I had been a member of a parish for over 40 years and realized it was time for me to shake my sandals and move on. And when I entered the doors of St. Thomas and worshipped in the chapel, I knew this is where God had led me.
How did you know?
There was a very warm feeling that came over me. It was just a number of feelings, and of course the sermon just seemed to hit home at that time, met my needs. Good feeling.
And in that year and a half, how have you gotten involved here?
How have I gotten involved? First of all, I must say that everyone here embraced me. There was no feeling of needing to do something. Although I do feel that church is not a noun, it's a verb. And St. Thomas is certainly an active parish, and I do feel a part of that activity. So I'm a member of the ECW. I am a chalice bearer, reader, belong to the evangelism committee. I was on the stewardship committee, all of which I definitely volunteered to do with joy, because everyone here just makes me feel comfortable.
So if I asked you why you continue to come to St. Thomas, what would you say?
I continue to come to St. Thomas, first of all, to worship. I love every part of St. Thomas's services. There always seems to be a service that meets my needs. I love the 5:30 contemporary service, the piano, the guitar, the drums, just the energy that is in the chapel at that time. When I'm in need of quiet and focus, I love the 8 o'clock service. Mostly I come to the 10 o'clock with the choir and the organ and the hustle and bustle of young families and more mature people meshing together. I continue to come. Actually, everything about the service, I think the sermons are inspirational. I find that it uplifts me. It's a reminder when I come to the Lord's table to receive the body and blood and bread and wine with other fellow believers. To me, it's just an awesome experience to share that. And those are some of the reasons. I suppose if I thought of it longer, I would think of more.
How have you experienced God in this church?
Oh, how have I experienced God? Well, truly, I feel the presence of God within myself. And when I enter St. Thomas, that presence seems to magnify. And I think part of that is because St. Thomas, the parishioners, feel the presence of God. But more than that, I really feel that St. Thomas is aware that we are in God's presence. And I really think that that's revealed through the outreach of the parish, not just for our members or the surrounding communities, but the world. And that's something that I have learned to really encompass, is that we are all God's children. And church is a building, but the people are the church. And God is love, and I feel that love and see that love here, so that is God to me.
Can you tell me a story that illustrates what you've just said so beautifully?
Well, when I first arrived, there was a family here who were in a terrible accident, and this parish raised a magnitude of finances for them, with everybody, not just writing a check, and I think that was such a wonderful experience. It was everyone getting together and preparing a dinner and putting it on the website and doing so many things to include everyone, just not the parish members, but the community people who didn't even know this couple but could hear the story, and the love that was experienced that night was just heartwarming to me. And that was shortly after I arrived, so it was just an affirmation of the love that was here.
Mm-hmm. Is there a place in this church that is particularly meaningful to you?
I would say not. I love the chapel. I just love the chapel. I love having services in here. I love the history behind it. I feel quiet, and when we have our prayer garden in here, it's just, I find that for me, it is a time to just be one with God. So if I have a favorite place, so to speak, I think it would be the chapel.
So, how does coming to church make your life better? Your personal life?
My personal life. I think by coming to church, it gives my week a spiritual awareness of what I need to do that week. It gives me direction for the week. It makes me constantly reminded that I need to love my neighbor and to try to find the face of God in everyone I meet, which is not always easy to do. It really does. When I don't come to church, I seem to have lost focus. So by coming to church and worshiping and sharing communion and the fellowship of coffee hour and donut, which I enjoy, it just makes it a well-rounded week for me.
Can you give me an example or tell me a story about a time when, during the course of your week, you have recognized that church and God have made a difference in that moment?
Church and God have made a difference. I think I find that I have, through the church and through God, have learned patience. And so during the week when I'm caught in traffic, instead of beeping my horn, I will say a prayer for whatever has been going on in front of me. I become more focused on the now as opposed to where I'm going or where I've been or what I need to do. So I do really feel that the church does impact my life because it makes me more aware, conscious of what should be, not always easy to do. And sometimes it's easier said than done. But if I do it, I know I did it, and so I need to reflect on that.
So when you say a prayer, what's that like?
Wow. More than saying a prayer by rote, I have more conversation with God. I find that my prayers today have matured, that rather than asking for things, I am so thankful for all that He has given me. And no matter what it is, because in everything there is a reason. And there's nothing that I can't do without God as my rock. And I'm going to cry